I instruct Channel 31 to start live streaming the meeting. Welcome everyone to tonight's council meeting. I'm the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Maria Kerr. I declare the meeting open at 7:09 p.m. I'd like to welcome the members of the public who have joined us in the chamber tonight and online. All persons present tonight have a right to be safe and treated with respect. All members of the gallery are required to pre-register their attendance at council meetings to support a safe and secure environment for all participants whilst allowing council to conduct an orderly meeting. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please follow the directions of council officers and the emergency procedures on the wall near the door. Channel 31 have been given permission to live stream this meeting. A recording of this meeting will be published on council's website. Item 1, please stand for the acknowledgement of country. On behalf of Brimbank City Council, I respectfully acknowledge and recognise the Wurundjeri and Burunurong peoples as the traditional custodians of this land and pay respect to their elders past, present and future. Item 2, council commitment. I ask all councillors to remain standing for the council commitment. Others may be seated. As the council, we will act in the best interest of the Brimbank community and consider the immediate and long-term impacts of our decisions. We'll make these decisions fairly and without bias. We'll uphold all our obligations under the laws of Victoria and council's local laws, and will act in accordance with the Model Councillor Code of Conduct. Councillors, please be seated. Item 3, apologies, leave of absence. Mayor Virginia Tarkos has requested leave of absence from the 13th of July to the 3rd of August. Councillor Ranko Rasic has requested a leave of absence from 31st of July to the 4th of September. May I have a mover of the motion to approve these requests? Councillor Borg?
I move the motion as per shared screen.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Nikolic?
I'm happy to second the motion as per the shared screen.
The motion is carried. Oh, sorry. It's not carried until you vote. All those in favour? Thank you. Motion is carried. Item 4, disclosure of conflicts of interest. Are there any declarations of conflicts of interest? Is there a mover of the motion? Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. Item 5, designation of items as confidential. May I have a mover of a motion to designate item as confidential? Councillor Pham?
I move the motion that is in the paper. Thank you.
Do I have a seconder of the motion? Councillor Rasic?
I second a motion as per shared screen. Thank you.
Thank you. The motion is carried. Oh, can I put the motion to the vote? Thank you. The motion is carried. Okay, item 6, confirmation of minutes of previous meeting. May I have a mover of a motion to confirm the minutes of the previous council meetings? Councillor Borg?
I'll move the motion as per shared screen.
Yep. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Crook?
I second the motion. Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour? Right, motion carried. Item 7, condolences. There are 2 items of condolences this evening. 7.1, Nathan Fitzgerald. Do I have a mover of the motion? Councillor Barge?
Thank you, Mayor. I move the condolence motion as per the shared screen.
Do I have a seconder of the motion? Councillor Crook?
Thank you. I second the motion as per the business papers.
Thank you. Councillor Butch, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, please, Acting Madam Mayor. On behalf of Brimbank City Council, we extend our deepest condolences to Nathan Fitzgerald's family, friends, teammates, and everyone connected with the Epping Football Netball Club, Laylaw Football Netball Club, and the Northern Football Netball League. Nathan's passing has deeply saddened everyone. Our thoughts are with everyone who knew and loved him, and with the people across the local football clubs who have been affected by his tragic loss. Look, I used to play footy myself when I was younger, and at times like these, football is more than just about the game itself. It's about coming together to support one another with those affected and continuing to provide well-being support to Nathan's family, his club, and everyone impacted across the days and weeks ahead. Rest in peace, Fitzy.
Thank you, Councillor Butch. Councillor Crook, would you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you, Acting Mayor. I would just like to extend my deepest condolences to the family at this difficult time. I recently read that the family were discussing just a few days before Nathan's passing his future and future goals in life and family matters and alike. So it must be incredibly heartbreaking to then see this cut short so abruptly. So I pass on my condolences and on behalf of the council as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Trung?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I wish to acknowledge the tragic loss of the young Nathan Fitzgerald. On behalf of Council, I extend our deepest condolences to Nathan's family, friends, and all those affected by his heartbreak tragedy. The loss of the child is felt profoundly across a community, and our true are with his loved one during this incredible, difficult time. May they find the strength, comfort, and support in the day ahead.
Thank you, Councillor. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. Item 7.2, Aldo Djokovic. Do I have a mover of the motion? Councillor Nikolic. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Pham. Councillor Nikolic, would you like to speak?
Yes, thank you. We received notice from Aldo's family about his passing at the age of 88 and that he'd been battling dementia the past few years, which is incredibly horrible. He was also a very interactive and dedicated player at the Keilor Bowls Club and loved by many. So we acknowledge his passing and we send the condolences to his family and team members as well.
Thank you. Councillor Pham, would you like to speak to the motion?
Just roughly, Madam Deputy Mayor, just want to send the condolences to Aldo family, but also highlighting the celebrating of Aldo life as a courageous and resilient man who built a remarkable life for himself and people surround him, including the Keilor Bowl Club. So my condolences to his family. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the condolence motion? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. Item 8, congratulations. Item 8.1, Pan-Hellenic Federation of Women of Australia and the Hellenic Australian Police Association of Victoria. The motion is that Council congratulate the Pan-Hellenic Federation of Women of Australia and the Hellenic Australian Police Association of Victoria on their successful Family Violence Forum. Do I have a mover of the motion? Councillor Trung?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Yet I move the motion on the screen. Thanks.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder of the motion? Councillor Borg?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'll second the motion as per shared screen.
Thank you. Councillor Trung, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yeah, thank you, Deputy Mayor. I would like to congratulate to the Federalist Federation of Women of Australian and Hellenist Australian Police Association of Victoria for organizing the recent Family Violence Forum, which I were pleased to attend alongside with the Mayor Virginia Tacos. The forum message, let's talk, let's support, let's stand together. It one has resonated strongly with me, and I believe with many people across our community. The forum were organized by Federalist Federation of Women of Australia and Hellenist Australian Police Association of Victoria. The event was primarily attended by women and provide a safe and supportive environment for discussion about family violence, victim survival, experience, and available support service. One of the most powerful aspects for the forum were hearing directly from victim survivors who encourage shared their personal experience. I was deeply impressed by their confidence and strength in speaking in the public about such difficult experience. Their stories were both moving and comforting, and at this time, there were not a dry eye in the room. A particularly emotional moment was hearing from the mother whose daughter had experienced family violence. She spoke about the challenge of support both her daughter and her grandchildren while navigating to conflict and distress situation. Her story highlights that family violence affects not only victims survivors, but also their wider family and support network. The forum reinforces an important message. Family violence is not an issue that can be addressed by service alone. Families, friends, neighbors, and the broader community all have the role to play to listen, support, and helping to accept assistance within safe space where people feel heard and support can make a significant difference in their recovery and well-being. Victoria Police presentation also provide practical information about recognized family violence reporting, fast-way intervention order, and support service available for victim survival. I would like to acknowledge Mr. Georgina Papotio, founder of Federalist Federation of Women of Australia, for her leadership in organizing this important event and to bringing together community members, service provider, and leader to discuss ways to strengthen support of truth affected by family violence. The forum was valuable opportunity to learn for life experience, enrich awareness, and reflect in how we, a community leader, can continue support alternatives that promote the safety, respect, and well-being across of our community. Congratulations.
Thank you. Councillor Borg.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. I would also like to join Councillor Kim Trung in congratulating the Pan-Hellenic Federation of Women of Australia and the Hellenic Australian Police Association of Victoria on their successful Family Violence Forum. Unfortunately, I haven't been to the forum, but as Councillor Trung has mentioned, it would have been very, very successful. The success of personal stories within the domain, especially family violence, which is becoming such an issue that crosses all boundaries as well as class in the community. I would also like to take the opportunity to congratulate Ms. Georgina Papaforio, JP, because she has been working very, very hard over these last few years to establish the Hellenic Federation of Women of Australia. This is her passion, and it's great to see her achieving and establishing this federation, as well as organizing this forum. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Barch.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to join my fellow councillors in congratulating the Pan-Hellenic Federation of Women of Australia and the Hellenic Australian Police Association Victoria on their successful family violence forum, and it's quite important. As I said, Georgina Papaforio was actually our mayor in the Brimbank mayor from 2019 to 2020, and also served as our deputy mayor from 2016 to 17, and is the founder of the Pan-Hellenic Federation of Women of Australia. The event brought together members of the Greek Australian community, local government representatives, including our very own Madam Mayor, Virginia Tahos, who's Greek, and the Victoria police officers to raise awareness about recognising and reporting family violence. Attendees received information packs containing details for specialist support services so that everyone seeking help would know where to turn to. Community initiatives such as this play an important role, particularly when language barriers, social isolation, financial or family dependence, and fear of stigma may make it difficult for victims and survivors to speak out to seek assistance. I congratulate all involved in this forum for creating a safe space where people can share their experiences and provide information on where potential victims can seek assistance and to see if there is help. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Barch. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare this motion carried. Item 9, public question time. Before we move to public question time, I'd like to note that there are a number of ways community members can ask questions or provide feedback to council outside of the public question time process. This includes submitting inquiries or feedback through council's website, phoning council, visiting council's service desk, or contacting councillors directly. These options help ensure matters can be directed through the appropriate channels and be followed up. Mr. Belava, are there any questions tonight?
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. We do have several questions. First question is from Daniel Daly, who asks, what data centre projects are currently occurring or are planned to occur in Brimbank?
7 data centres are currently operational in Brimbank, 2 in each of Brooklyn, Deer Park and Derrimut, and 1 in Tullamarine. 4 data centres are currently under construction in Brimbank, 3 in Tullamarine and 1 in Brooklyn. An additional 2 data centres have been approved in Brimbank, however construction has not commenced, 1 in Deer Park and 1 in Derrimut.
Daniel's second question is, the proposal for the mega centre in Plumpton falls under Melton Council. It borders Brimbank Council. Will Brimbank be taking steps to object to the proposal?
Brimbank City Council has not received formal notification of a proposed data centre in Plumpton. It would be premature to make any decisions about lodging an objection to a proposal until full details of the proposal were available.
Dong Nguyen has asked, when will you plan to upgrade the Gangala village?
The Gangala Village Streetscape Improvement Project is the detailed design stage with council funds committed in the current financial year 26-27 to complete final design. Authority approvals and permits construction of the project is anticipated in the 27-28 financial year, subject to funding being confirmed in the Capital Works program through the next council budget process.
Mr. Nguyen has also asked, are there considerations to add bike lanes along Sunshine West?
There are no immediate plans for a new bike lane to be installed in Sunshine West. Council's in the process of finalising a new integrated transport strategy for Brimbank following recent community consultation. The strategy aims to shift the focus for cycling to everyday local riding, particularly for short trips to priority destinations such as local shops, shops and activity centres, train stations, parks and community facilities. As part of the implementation of the strategy, Council will prepare a cycling implementation plan which will investigate priority routes for bike lanes in our different neighbourhoods. We will seek community input to inform this and to understand which streets are best suited to support safe and comfortable cycling in Sunshine West and into the future.
Mark Yurkov has asked, in regards to the native title claim, can council advise if the Solomon Heights estate will be impacted in any way?
Solomon Heights estate is comprised of privately owned land and is not identified as being affected by the Wurundjeri Wurrung native title claim currently before the federal court.
Caleb Ethan has asked, will Brimbank Council make a public stance opposing the widespread expansion of AI data centres developing right across Victoria, especially in our communities impacting Derrimut, Tullamarine, etc., while standing with the people of Brimbank and the environment?
Brimbank City Council has recently updated its advocacy priorities to include data centres at the council meeting in June. Specifically, we are calling on the state government to provide a stronger role for councils in the delivery of data centres, as well as implementing clearer planning controls and mandatory standards that address setbacks, water efficiency, design, landscaping, heat mitigation measures, and noise and storage limits. Earlier this year, Brimbank Mayor Councillor Tarkos participated in a local government roundtable hosted by the Minister of Economic Growth and Jobs, Honourable Steve Demopoulos MP. At this roundtable, Mayor Tarkos took the opportunity to express Brimbank's concerns with data centres.
Caleb's second question is, moving forward, how will Brimbank Council protect our community, the environment and our local lands against the Victorian Government's wide expansion of these massive corporate data centres?
All planning applications must be assessed against the planning controls that apply at the time of the application that is lodged. So in the absence of specific planning requirements relating to data centres, council planners can only use their negotiation skills to seek influence to best control the outcome. However, council will continue advocating for improved outcomes as mentioned in the response to the previous question.
Madam Deputy Mayor, there are no further questions for this evening's meeting, noting that council received 2 questions from an unknown submitter, which have been disallowed in accordance with Rule 55.11.4 of the Brimbank Governance Rules. We also received a question from Tim Blunt and a question from Oscar Ronberg relating to operational matters which have been responded to outside the public question process. Thank you.
Item 10, petitions. There are no petitions to be received this evening. Item 11, minutes reports of delegated committees. There is 1 minute of delegated committees. 11.1, Lead West Joint Delegated Committee. Do I have a mover of this motion? Councillor Nguyen? Do I have a seconder of this motion? Councillor Crook? Councillor Nguyen, yep, sorry. Councillor Nguyen, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Madam Deputy. Just briefly, I wanted to acknowledge Council's commitment and Lead West's commitment towards tackling homelessness, particularly through the homelessness research that Lead West is leading to find out more information about our capacity in the West. And this research is a really important next step in strengthening our evidence base for our advocacy by helping us better understand the scale and drivers of homelessness and housing insecurity across the Western region. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Crook, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
Does anyone else like to speak to the motion? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare this motion carried. Okay, we now move to item 12, officer reports. There are 8 officer reports for consideration at tonight's council meeting. If you have your own motions this evening, you must draft these motions and provide it to the governance team via email so they may be shared on the screen to form part of the meeting. Otherwise, we may have to defer the matter until the motion has been written, allowing the meeting to proceed uninterrupted. Item 12.1. Planning Activity Update and Delegated Decisions and Planning Scheme Amendments Update June 2026. I invite Director Walsh to present this report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The purpose of this report is to provide Council with a status on planning applications and trends in planning approvals in Brimbank during the month of June, and also decisions made under delegated authority in that period in relation to planning permit applications and planning matters. The purpose is also to provide Council with line of sight to current planning scheme amendments as at the end of June. The officers recommend that Council notes the planning activity and also notes the planning amendment summary as at June 2026, which is at attachment 3. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councillors, are there any questions for the Director? Is there a mover of the motion? Councillor Pham?
I move the motion per piece in paper. Thank you.
Is there a seconder of the motion? Councillor Crook?
I second the motion.
Councillor Pham, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Thank you.
Councillor Crook, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare this motion carried. Item 12.2, Planning and Building Compliance Activity. I invite Director Walsh to present their report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The purpose of this report is to provide councillors with line of sight to planning and building compliance activity for the second quarter of the calendar year 2026, which is April through to June. Officers recommend that Council note the planning and compliance activity update presented in this report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillors, are there any questions for the Director? Is there a mover of the motion? Councillor Borg?
I'll move the motion as per shared screen.
Is there a seconder of the motion? Councillor Nikolic?
I'd like to second the motion as per the shared screen.
Thank you. Councillor Borg, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you, Madam.
Councillor Nikolic, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare this motion carried. Item 12.3, Final Draft Sunshine Rising Place Management Framework 2631. I again invite Director Walsh.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The purpose of this report is to provide Council with the results from the consultation period that was undertaken in relation to the draft Sunshine Rising Place Management Framework 2026 through to 2031, which will enable you to consider those submissions, any amendments that we've made to the draft document, and then consider your adoption of the final draft framework. Officers recommend that Council notes the consultation summary, which is provided at attachment 1. We also recommend that you adopt the final draft Sunshine Rising Place Management Framework, which is at attachment 2. And in doing so, we would write to respondents to the survey that provided their contact details and advise them of your decision. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councillors, are there any questions for the Director? Is there a mover of the motion? Councillor Trung?
Yes, I will move the motion. It's live on the screen. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a seconder of the motion? Councillor Crook?
I second the motion as per the business papers.
Councillor Trung, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. I think Sunside CBD is the heart of Melbourne West and the Blackwick and Mount potential. As Sunshine continue to grow, we must ensure our CBD is not only attracting investment, but also support the people and business that are already here. Many local traders tell me they are concerned about less like foot traffic. shop tip for sense of safety. Residents have also raised concern about feeling less comfortable the park of the CBD, particularly around transport hub, shopping area, and public space. At the same time, we recognize that some people in our community are experiencing homeless and hardship. We need balanced approach, one that concerns valuable people with support service while ensure our library, shop, and public space remain safe and welcome for everyone. I believe we are three practical action council we may be focused on. First, establish a Sunshine CBD safety task force involving council, Victoria Police, trader, and community organization to address safety hotspots, improve light and review CCTV covers. Second, strengthen support for the local business through a trader support and affiliation program. I would particularly like council to explore a monthly sunshine night market during the warm months, from spring to autumn, showcasing to local food, culture, and entertainment while bringing more people into the CBD after hours. Third, introduce the rapid responsible program for privacy in legal gambling and ensure issues are addressed quickly at our city center remain lean, attractive, and inviting. Sunshine is on a further, it become one of Victoria's most important urban center. But on success will not be measured by building alone. It will be measured by wherever our trust of fulfilling whatever resident feels safe and where whatever people choose to spend their time and money in our CBD. Let's continue working together to reach the Sunshine CBD that's vibrant, safe, welcoming, and professional for everyone in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Crook, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. I've already spoken about the importance of the Sunshine Rising Place Management Framework, but this part here is the public consultation part, which I have to underscore is critical for any transparent government to have public consultation. I'm pleased to see that our public consultation reached over 33,000 people, and we received quite a number of respondents to our consultation request. This is a great opportunity for us to sense check if we're on the right page here, and we will incorporate the feedback into the draft place management framework and ensure that all respondents are heard back from council. Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Pham?
I rise in strong support of final draft Sunshine Rising Place Management Framework. So this framework is more than a strategy, but it is a practical commitment to our local traders, small business owners, and local economy. Sunshine is the beating heart of Melbourne West, and our vibrant local shop fronts, multicultural dining spot, and retail strip are backbone of our municipality. I particularly want to highlight a major win that aligns directly with this framework goals. The recent Melbourne Design Award wins for the Love Westside website platform. Council partnered with Western Melbourne Tourism to deliver this platform, which puts a direct spotlight in our incredible local cultural attraction, food scenes, and retail traders. It drives real visitor economy dollars directly into our commercial presence in Sunshine, St. Albans, and across Brimbank. This framework pairs long-term investment with immediate practical action, modernizing shop fronts, enhancing streetscapes, and keeping our shop presence safe and clean. When our local business thrive, our whole community thrive. I commend officers for their works. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Dang?
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. As Councillor Chung and Councillor Cook and Councillor Pham had mentioned, The community consultation showed strong support for the draft framework, including its overall vision and priority directions. The top priorities are improving safety, addressing homelessness, and making Sunshine more attractive and accessible for all. Additional strategic directions are support local businesses, encourage investment, and celebrate our diverse community. So thank you to everyone who contribute their feedback and idea. Together we build a better Sunshine for the future. I commend this report to council. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Borg?
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. I would also like to join my fellow councillors to, among other things, to thank the members, the 35 members of the community who provided feedback during the consultation process. The importance of improving safety, well-being, and everyday experience were highly emphasized. Other themes emerged during the consultation but did not require any changes. One key change that needs to be highlighted is regarding Council's stronger focus on addressing homelessness, safety, and antisocial behavior to become the first of the 6 priority areas. And I would also like to take the opportunity to thank all the councillor officers and all the members of the community for their contribution towards the final draft. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare this motion carried. Item 12.4, Draft Climate Emergency Strategy. I invite Director Calvin Walsh to present his report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In 2019, Brimbank declared a climate emergency, and in doing so adopted the Climate Emergency Plan 2020 to 2025. That plan has run its course, and in doing so, Council has asked us to prepare a new strategy, being the Climate Emergency Strategy 2026 to 2036, and also a Climate Emergency and Environment Strategic Framework. So the purpose of this report is to seek Council endorsement of those 2 documents, which are at Attachment 1 and Attachment 2. For the purpose of a 4-week period of community consultation. So the officer recommendation is that you endorse the documents for the purpose of the community consultation, and following the community consultation, if you do follow the officer recommendation, receive a further report summarising the feedback and presenting to you the final draft for consideration. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councillors, are there any questions for the Director? Is there a mover of the motion? Councillor Borg? Is there a seconder of the motion?
I move the motion
Sorry.
as per shared screen, Madam Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Borg. And seconder, Councillor Nguyen?
Thank you, Madam Deputy. I second the motion as per the shared screen.
Thank you. Councillor Borg, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, I do, Madam Deputy Mayor. I highly welcome this first draft strategy coming to Council for endorsement. I can't help looking back to 2019 with a great sense of pride when we, as a Council, declared Brimbank as a climate emergency. Back then, that was a bold move. Indeed, we were one of the first councils to make such a declaration, which was followed by the 2025 Climate Emergency Plan. We were very much leading the way as a local government to aiming to address climate change, which currently was and is going from bad to worse. We are very much leading the way and prepare and protect the community and the environment from such a threatening measures to to minimize the threatening issue about climate change and minimize the carbon emissions as well. Climate change is now a priority for Council. The development of this new draft strategy will provide Council with a high-level direction to prioritize work across the municipality and achieve carbon neutrality by 2030 and net zero emissions by 2040. I would like to acknowledge the amount of work, including various community consultations, to prepare this draft of this strategy and framework. There was also extensive engagement within the Brimbank City Council organization. I'm very much looking forward to the community's contribution towards these documents. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Borg. Councillor Nguyen, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Madam Deputy. I also welcome Brimbank's new climate emergency strategy. This strategy provides a practical and ambitious roadmap for how we will continue responding to the climate emergency over the coming years. And it recognises that addressing climate change requires two things: reducing emissions as quickly as possible, while also increasing our community preparedness for the impacts we can no longer avoid. That is why Council's pathway towards achieving net zero is so crucial. And a key strength of this strategy is that it looks beyond Council's own footprint and focuses on enabling community action. That means supporting households and businesses to improve energy efficiency, electrifying homes, adopting renewable energy, and reducing waste and lower emissions. This means working in partnership with schools, governments, industry, and community organizations, because tackling climate change requires everyone to play a role. And I'm also pleased that the strategy recognises the importance of climate justice. Climate change doesn't affect everyone equally. The people most impacted are often those with the fewest resources to adapt. And by considering equity in our climate response, we can ensure that the transition to a low carbon future is fair, inclusive, and leaves no one behind. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Batch?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I echo the sentiments of my fellow city councillors. I am proud that in 2019, Brimbank City Council did declare a climate emergency, and Council adopted a climate emergency plan the following year in 2020. I'm going to take a different approach, and we're going to say that we are actually one of the first city councils that supported to establish a heat commissioner. It is an important note that Brimbank and Greater Dandenong are the only two municipalities in metropolitan Melbourne with a heat vulnerability index of the maximum 5. It is something that we believe that with the heating up and the climate emergency puts our community at one of the most vulnerable positions, such as suburbs like Derrimut, who have a low canopy of trees. This means that the heat urban effect is coupled and compounded with what that is the disadvantage in our community. The heat is a killer. When a lot of people have got underlying and complex medical conditions, and combine that with the increasing heat intensity in our summers causing people to be hospitalised, and therefore why we have a higher hospital incidence in Brimbank. And I'm very cognizant that some people might deny that there is a climate emergency. However, we do need to take note that the summers are getting warmer. And in instance, I think it was January 27 this year, the western suburbs reached 45.6 degrees. So I'm pleased to see that the strategy is coming for endorsement and demonstrates Council's continuous commitment to continue to work towards the reduction of carbon emissions. However, these next-gen data centres are now becoming problematic. I see it as a systemic failure where it is the right conception but the wrong location. And these data centres heavily impact the environment through massive energy and water consumption, fossil fuel reliance and electronic waste. Driven by the AI boom, their skyrocketing power needs threaten local grids and climate goals, while cooling requirements strain municipal water supplies. So again, it's the right location, so the right application, but it's the wrong location, as it does stimulate our economy and employment, but on the contrary, it is close to homes. So I think we should do more to collaborate together with these massive data centre companies on placing these centres at a further distance away from homes. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. Okay, item 12.5, Albion Station Early Design and Amended Project Boundary, Melbourne Airport Stage 1. I invite Director Walsh again to present his report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Council will note that in June of this year, the state government through Vita Rail released the design of the early design of Albion Station, which is a significant station on the northern edge of Sunshine CBD. In releasing this submission, they called for comments on the early design, and officers prepared and submitted a commentary on that for in time for the close on the 14th of June. So the purpose of this report is to provide council with that officer submission and seek your endorsement of the submission. If council, in their consideration of the submission, do endorse it, that would then result in us writing to Vita Rail and confirming the submission and your endorsement of it. In presenting this to you for your consideration, officers recommend that you note the redevelopment proposed for the station, note the significance of that for the city, and note that the state is committed to delivering the station. We ask you to endorse the submission, and that would then enable us to write to Vita Rail confirming your endorsement of the submission. Of course, the submission is included at attachments 1 and 2. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councillors, are there any questions for the Director? Is there a mover of the motion? Councillor Butch?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the motion as per the shared screen.
Do I have a seconder for the motion? Councillor Nguyen?
Thank you, Madam Deputy. I second the motion as per the shared screen.
Councillor Butch, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Look, I endorse the officer's submission to the state government regarding the Albion Station early designs, which closed for consultation last week on the 14th of June. The original $80 million funding commitment was announced more than 4 years ago. Now, someone who has actually ridden on the train on the Water Gardens, well, the Sunbury line now, even since I was 21 years old, we all know that Albion Station was one of the most dodgiest stations on the line, from minimal lighting to scary tunnel to walk to the platform to, and to being very isolated. And it makes it worse that the PSAs are no longer permanently stationed in Albion. So the new Albion Station will provide easier and safer connections to the station from either side of the rail line, featuring accessible, centrally located pedestrian overpass with stairs and lifts, leading to the central platform that will feature new shelters and improve seating, lighting and directional signage. It will also come with a new welcoming entrance to a station. Will feature a new station plaza with landscaping, new seating and bike hoops. New pedestrian paths will connect Sydney Street and to and from the bus bays on Ballarat Road Service Road, as well as Talmang and Ferguson Streets. So let the work begin, and I'm sure the community will be very pleased with the end result.
Thank you. Councillor Nguyen, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I echo Councillor Boucher's words. These upgrades and ask from our submission are not nice things to have. I think they are essential to the future of our community and for the safety of users of our Albion Station. And this is about building more than just transport infrastructure. It's about connecting our neighborhoods and supporting local businesses and creating spaces where people feel safe and proud, particularly the upgrades to the existing underpass, which is currently really poorly lit, presenting safety concerns, especially for children, women, and elderly. Sorry, thank you, that's all.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Pham?
Through you, Madam Chair, I'm pleased to support this recommendation and commend officers for their continued advocacy on behalf of our community. The redevelopment of Albion Station as part of the Melbourne Airport Rail project is once in a generation opportunity. Is it much about more than a railway station? Is it about creating a gateway that supports jobs, education, healthcare, and economic growth across Brimbank? I strongly support council advocacy for an expanded station forecourt, improved pedestrian and cycling connection, better public space, and station that designed to accommodate future growth, not just current demand. Importantly, Albion Station will play a critical role in supporting the Sunshine health, well-being, and education residents, one of Victoria's most significant emerging health and education hubs. With the new hospital, university expansion, and allied health services planned for Sunshine, efficient and accessible public transport will be essential for patients, healthcare workers, students, and visitors. Investing in Albion Station today will help unlock the full potential of that present and strengthen Sunshine roles at Melbourne Western Capital. While Albion is outside of my ward, but the benefit will also feel right across Brimbank. Many residents from St. Albans East rely on public transport to access employment, education, and health services and the Sunside CBD. A well-designed transport interchange will improve connectivity, reduce congestion, and provide more reliable travel options for our growing community. I'm also encouraged the Victorian government to continue working closely with Brimbank City Council throughout the design and delivery phase. Local knowledge is essential to ensuring the project meets the needs of our residents for decades to come. Finally, I see this project as an opportunity to create a station presence that is welcoming, safe, and integrate with surrounding neighborhoods, while supporting future housing, employment, and investment. I thank officers for their advocacy, and I am pleased to support the recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Ball?
Just briefly, Madam Deputy Chair, I also want to share the sentiment of my fellow councillors. Albion Station redevelopment is one in a generation opportunity to reshape a strategically significant Albion quarter. It is important to use this opportunity for Albion Station to be not just an upgrade, but also a significant urban renewal opportunity. Indeed, the Department of Transport and Planning had identified the Sunshine Priority Precinct, which includes Albion Quarter, among other precincts, as an integrated metropolitan renewal. This report includes key asks that Council is making in its submission and advocates for a more integrated approach to project delivery, ensuring safety for pedestrians and cyclists, better connectivity with shared user paths, and enhanced station amenity, activation, and public realm improvements on the western side of the station. I would like to thank the council officers for preparing such a comprehensive submission. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the report? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare this motion carried. Okay, item 12.6. I invite Director Georgie Hill to speak to the governance report.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. The governance report is a standing report to Council presented in accordance with best practice and good governance principles and to ensure compliance with the requirements of the Local Government Act 2020, the Model Code of Conduct and the Councillor Support Policy. In this month's governance report, Council is asked to consider and note a summary of recent governance activity, contracts entered into and works orders approved in accordance with the S7 instrument of subdelegation, records of informal meetings of councillors, delegates and representative reports, councillors' declarations of representations by members of Parliament, and this report also seeks Council's adoption of the updated Councillor Gift, Benefits and Hospitalities Policy 2026 and asks Council to consider appointing councillor delegates to the CSF Laverton Community Reference Group. Thank you.
Councillors, are there any questions for the Director? Is there a mover of the motion? Councillor Crook?
I'd like to move the motion as per the business papers, and I'd like to appoint Councillor Lucy Nguyen as delegate and myself, Councillor Daniel Crook, as proxy for the Laverton Community Reference Group. Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor.
Is there a seconder of the motion? Councillor Nguyen?
Thank you, Madam Deputy. I second the motion as per the shared screen.
Thank you. Councillor Crook, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. I'd just like to speak to a couple of points. It's a pretty chunky governance report here. We recently met with multiple MPs, including Joe Brisky MP, Senator Steph Hodgkins-May and Alice Jordan-Bard MP, where we spoke about various topics, including urgent issue on homelessness, mental health resources and asylum seeker support, tougher planning controls specifically for data centres popping up in the west and around Melbourne, building the rail before runway, delivering the Keilor East Station and the Taylors Road duplication, tackling urban heat island effect in the west and increasing our tree canopy, and broader financial assistance grants so the council can deliver more vital services. These meetings were productive and we've already seen some outcomes with our advocacy, with Alice announcing online some new priority for AI data centres, and we've seen now the federal government has started their campaign on data centres as well and imposing tougher regulations there. I'd like to now bring your attention to the CSF Proteins Community Reference Group. Residents might remember late last year and early this year a sort of rancid, rotting meat smell in the community. This affected suburbs from Sunshine North and West, Brooklyn, Deer Park, Altona North and Ardea. So during this time, we encourage residents to report the matter to the EPA. The EPA took action and authorised officers inspected over 31 premises and issued 10 compliance notices within these premises. The EPA held concerns mostly with CSF proteins as they failed to comply with a notice issued by the EPA. So the purpose of this community reference group is to ensure that councils and neighbouring councils have a seat at the table so that we are aware of the incoming action and so that CSF proteins can keep us updated on their impact and how they'll improve their facilities there. And I'm pleased to endorse Lucy Nguyen, Councillor Lucy Nguyen, and as the delegate there and myself as proxy. Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Nguyen?
Thank you, Madam Deputy. I would also like to speak briefly regarding the CSF Laverton Community Reference Group. As Councillor Crook mentioned, this last summer was particularly harsh for residents of Sunshine and Sunshine West, where the odour was constantly seeping into people's homes almost every day. And on days of high heat, instead of feeling the relief of air conditioning, all residents could smell was the awful stench of rendered meat, which really impacted their physical and mental well-being. So I really do welcome the invitation by CSF Laverton to council to join their community reference group. I do hope that this means it's a step in the right direction and that this reference group will foster genuine engagement with our residents and neighbouring councils, and that there is real actions from this group for better outcomes to our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to this motion? Councillor Ball?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I briefly want to talk about the report of the Disability Action Committee meeting as the chair of that committee. I am pleased to say that members of the community had a workshop on disability access and inclusion development workshop, and a presentation was held to DEC members, including feedback from the community. Members expressed that the co-design process is empowering, providing the community with choices and options regarding how they participate. Access to information. Members discussed significant barriers regarding the current website navigation, advocating for better search functionality and the use of grassroots communication strategies to reach cold and elderly communities. Members also emphasized that disability access should be built in, not bolted on. Specific issues raised included also the parking, with regards to parking, and it also included the need to increase support for people with disability in the workshop. So we encourage Council to continue to work on these issues, and it's very important to listen to the people and try and meet their needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the report? Councillor Dang?
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. I would like to congratulate Councillor Nguyen and Councillor Crook for the appointment to represent Council on the CSF Laverton Community Reference Group. And thanks to the Director here and the governing teams for the comprehensive report. The July 2026 governance report shows Council continued commitment to strong governance, transparency, and community representation. Council remains fully compliant with the Local Government Act and the Council Code of Conduct, and recent delegated contract approval are keeping our core operation running efficiently. The report addresses Council engagement across our advisory groups has been active and valuable. Our advocacy work also continues with representations made to members of Parliament on major issues affecting our community. A key highlight this month is the strengthened gifts, benefits, and hospitalities policy, which improve clarity, strengthens obligations, and enhance public transparency, reinforcing integrity and trust in our governance. Overall, this report reflects a diligent, transparent Council focused on delivering good governance for our community. I commend this report to Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to this report? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare this motion carried. Item 12.7, I invite Director Georgie Hill to present the Advocacy Update, July 2026.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. This report outlines the whole of Council advocacy highlights for Brimbank since last month's meeting. In addition to providing an update on Fix Taylor's Road campaign, the report discusses the recent Brimbank delegation to Canberra for both the National General Assembly of the Australian Local Governance Association and to meet with federal politicians in Parliament House to discuss Council's advocacy priorities. The report also recommends the extension of Council's Memorandum of Understanding with Victoria University. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the Director? Do I have a mover for the motion? Councillor Crook,
I'd like to move the motion as per business papers. Thank you.
is there a seconder of the motion? Councillor Borg,
I'll second the motion as per shared screen.
Councillor Crook, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Just briefly, I've already touched on advocacy in the previous report, but in this report specifically mentions our delegation to Canberra. So for those of you new playing along here, once a year, representatives from every council nationwide meet to it's like a massive council meeting with all sorts of motions and debates that go on. So I'm honoured that this council trusted me and Kim Trong and Councillor Kim Trong and the Mayor to go to Canberra for this matter. At this meeting, we moved two motions which were both endorsed. One of which calling on the federal government to increase funding for road infrastructure for better and safer connected roads across our region, and the second motion to again calling on the federal government to increase funding for youth mental health and to create primary intervention programs and early intervention wellbeing programs. I thank the council again, and thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Borg.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. I would like to highlight the renewal of the Memorandum of Understanding between Victoria University and Brimbank Council. Such Memorandum of Understanding is vital for both organizations as well as for the local and broader community in the West. Indeed, a lot has been achieved through this collaboration over these last 4 years, as stated in this report. The focus of the Memorandum of Understanding is on improving outcomes to employment, education, community health and well-being, caring for country and climate action, and to building strategic partnerships to achieve impact in uplifting our communities. Important to note that over these last 4 years, Council has identified other ways in which both organizations can collaborate with each other and maximize opportunities for better outcomes. This proposed Memorandum of Understanding includes this added information. I'm very much looking forward to the signing of this Memorandum of Understanding with Victoria University. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Pham.
Through you, Madam Deputy Mayor. This advocacy update reinforces our ongoing commitment to delivering on fundamental issues that matter most to our ratepayers every single day. Cleaner streets, road safety, upgrading local parks, and tackling illegal trading and dumping. Crucially, I want to emphasize the progress of Brimbank Community Safety and Wellbeing Partnership Forum. Community safety around our key activities centre and station presence, such as St Albans and Sunshine, is the top priority. Through this forum, Council works shoulder to shoulder with Victoria Police, health services and trade groups to address real on-ground issues, tackling anti-social behaviour, improving lighting and keeping our shopping trips secure. Safety isn't just a policy goal, it's about ensuring every resident and trader feels safe walking our streets. Persistent advocacy gets results, and I hope that will improve in the future for with the safety of our men shopping centre, activity centres. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Barch?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And as specified in the We Are Brimbank Council Plan 2025 to 2029, advocacy is one of Brimbank's strategy priorities and is necessary to influence government policy, both state and federal governments. It's great to see that the Melbourne Airport Rail has finally been on track, and with a committed $13 billion funding, $8 billion from the Commonwealth and $5 billion from state, that we can see the results early with the Albion railway station designs. But unfortunately, and regarding advocacy, we're still not seeing, no result or little result on the duplication on Taylor's Road or reopening police stations around the clock. But on the contrary, there is some good news. As the Brimbank City Council delegate for the Metropolitan Transport Forum Committee and a passionate advocate for public transport, I'm glad to announce that on this Sunday, 26th of July, that the new bus route 405 will be launched. The last time Deer Park had a new bus route was 12 years ago in May 2014, and this service will operate 7 days a week, connecting residents from Deer Park Station to Brimbank Shopping Centre in Deer Park via Carnley. It will also stop at Carnley Park Primary School, Carnley Town Centre and Victoria University Secondary College. The service will run approximately 20 minutes intervals during Monday to Saturday and 40 minutes on Sunday. And the service will operate 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Weekdays and Saturday, and Sundays the bus will run 7 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. And this is just proof that as elected officials, we are advocating and working for our residents. The new bus route will also improve connecting communities and easier for them to go where they need to go in a more convenient and time-effective manner. And it's great to see where our taxes go. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare this motion carried. This now brings us to item 12.8, contract 27-3741, supply of pool maintenance service, Brimbank Leisure Centre. I invite Director Lindley Dumball to present her report.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. This report is presented to Council to consider the tender evaluation and recommendation for the award of contract number 27/3741, supply of pool maintenance service, Brimbank Leisure Centres. The contract provides for the regular servicing of the pool plant and associated equipment, as well as the preventative, scheduled and reactive maintenance and repairs response for the two sites, and caters for specialised electrical, mechanical, chemical and hydraulic services. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the Director? Do I have a mover of the motion? Councillor Nikolic?
I'd like to move the item as per the business papers.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for the motion? Councillor Pham?
I second the motion per business paper. Thank you.
Councillor Nikolic, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
Councillor Pham, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare this motion carried. Item 13, notices of motion. There are no notices of motion this evening. Item 14, notices of rescission. There are no notices of rescission this evening. Item 15, urgent business. Madam CEO, are there any items for urgent business this evening?
There is no urgent business. Thank you.
All right. Well, this now takes me to item 16, which is confidential business. Thank you to everyone who is currently viewing the live stream of this meeting. Oh, yes. May I have a mover of the motion to close the meeting in accordance with section 66(2)(a) of the Local Government Act 2020 to members of the public for consideration of this item 16.1, which has been designated confidential. Do I have a mover of this motion? Councillor Crook?
I move the motion as per business papers.
Do I have a seconder of this motion? Councillor Trung?
Yeah, I'm second model. Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Crook, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Councillor Trung, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare this motion carried. Again, the meeting is now closed to members of the public.